What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Mannun's Minute. So there is a particular goddess that I absolutely adore. She came into my life probably about 20 years ago when I saw her. My high priestess back in the day had her in her next on one of the shelves next to her altar, and it was a horned goddess, which was very interesting to me because you don't really see a lot of goddesses that are horned goddesses, and I love the horned god, and I thought, what a great companion for instance, Kernos or Hearn or somebody, and fell in love immediately and said, "Where did you get that? I got to have it." She said, "I got it as a gift from somebody," and anyway, I ran with it, went on wherever, found her, and got her, and I've used her ever since. And who we're talking about here is Elen of the Ways. So Elen of the Ways is definitely unique. She's a unique figure who seems to appear out of the mist, already wearing antlers, carrying a staff, surrounded by deer, and somehow knowing the location of every forgotten pathway in Britain. And naturally, the pagan community looks at all of this and says, well, clearly she must be an ancient Celtic goddess. Case closed. Put her picture on an altar card, light a green candle, and let's move on. Except it isn't quite that simple. Let me explain. The Elen most people talk about today is usually described as a goddess of roads and pathways, crossroads, pilgrimage, deer, the wilderness, and the journeys we take through life. She's sometimes pictured as an antlered woman, almost like a female reflection of the horned god, like I mentioned earlier, walking along ancient tracks that existed long before modern highways cut across the land. Because of this, she's become meaningful to many modern pagans, especially those interested in British spirituality, sacred landscapes, and working with spirits of place. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. However, when we begin calling her an ancient goddess worshipped by the early people of Britain, we run into a slight problem. We don't really have evidence for that. The name Elen of the Ways is modern. It became popular largely through the work of writer and researcher Carolyn Wise, who spent years exploring the connections between Elen, deer symbolism, ancient pathways, pilgrimage, and the landscape. Wise did not uncover a neat little stone tablet saying, "Here lies the temple of Elen, antlered goddess of the ways." What she developed was a spiritual and mythic picture assembled from several different threads. Those threads are fascinating, but they should not be confused with solid proof. The clearest historical figure connected to Elen of the Ways is Elen Loithog, a woman from medieval Welsh tradition. Her name is usually translated as Elen of the Hosts, or Elen of the Armies, or something similar. She appears in the Welsh tale known as the Dream of Maxen Weldig. In this story, Maxen Weldig, the Welsh name for the Roman Emperor Magnus Maximus, dreams of a beautiful woman living in a distant land. He becomes so taken with her that he sends men searching for the exact place shown in his dream. They eventually find Elen in Wales, and Maxen travels to meet her. The two marry, and Elen asks that roads be built across the country so the land can be better protected and connected. This association with roads became one of the major foundations for the modern Elen of the Ways. And to add a little tidbit, my name, Mannun, where I got that one from, is the god Mannun MacLear, who's also a god of the roads and paths and things like that in Ireland. So maybe that's why I'm attracted to her too. I'm not sure. Several old roads in Wales are connected with her name, including Sarn Helen, sometimes called Helen's Causeway. The problem is that portions of these roads are Roman and may be older than the legendary Elen herself. So she probably didn't stand there with a little Roman hard hat pointing at the ground and telling the workers where to place the stones. The story's legend, not a construction report. Even so, legends are important. They tell us how later generations understood people, places, and events. Whether Elen literally ordered the roads to be built is less important than the fact that Welsh tradition remembered her as a woman associated with travel, protection, and linking together of distant places. Elen was also remembered within Welsh Christian tradition as Saint Elen of Caernarfon. She was said to have founded churches, and a number of wells and sacred places became connected with her name. At this point, matters become even more tangled because she's sometimes confused with Saint Helena, the mother of the Roman Emperor Constantine, who was traditionally connected with the discovery of the true cross. So now we have a legendary legendary Welsh princess, the wife of a Roman emperor, a builder or patron of roads, a Christian saint, and possibly some elements borrowed from another Helena entirely. Welcome to mythology. Please keep your arms and legs inside the vehicle because this ride gets bumpy quick. The antlers and deer associations connected with Elen of the Ways are even harder to trace. Deer were obviously important to many ancient cultures. They provided food and bone, hide, and tools, and their seasonal movements created natural trails through the landscape. Humans and animals followed these tracks, eventually turning some of them into established pathways. That gives us a powerful image. The deer is a guide through the wild, and the antlered woman is the keeper of those ancient ways. It's beautiful symbolism. It makes spiritual sense, but we cannot automatically jump from deer-created trails that humans followed to therefore an ancient antlered goddess named Elen was worshipped across prehistoric Europe. That's where imagination begins to pretend that it's archaeology. And you can't do that. There's no clear ancient image labeled Elen. We don't have a surviving temple dedicated to an antlered Elen. There are no ancient prayers describing her as the deer goddess of pathways. The modern figure appears to be a blending of Welsh legend, landscape folklore, deer symbolism, visionary experience, and modern pagan practice. Some people hear that and immediately think it means Elen must be fake now. No, it means her modern form is modern. Those are not the same thing. Religious figures have always developed over time. Stories merge, names move from one culture into another, local spirits become saints, saints take on qualities from older spirits, and gods absorb symbols that originally belonged somewhere else. Humanity's been spiritually mixing paint since the first person looked at a thunderstorm and decided something intelligent must be making all that noise. A modern pagan can experience Elen as a goddess without pretending that every detail currently associated with her was carved into a cave wall 20,000 years ago. In fact, being honest about her development makes the subject more interesting. We get to see mythology being formed rather than only looking at it after several centuries have hidden all the seams. Elen represents the way itself, not merely a road from one town to another, but the experience of moving between places and stages and conditions. A pathway is neither the place we left nor the destination we're trying to reach. It's the space in between. Reminds me a lot of Hecate, actually. But anyway, that makes her especially useful as a spiritual figure connected with transition. Someone might approach Elen during a move, a career change, the beginning or ending of a relationship, a period of spiritual uncertainty, or any situation where the old direction no longer works, but the new one is not entirely clear. I personally, when we were doing our move from New Hampshire to North Carolina, and also when I was doing my transition of new jobs back in New Hampshire, when I was let go from my old job for religious discrimination and had to find another job, I actually sought the energy from Elen of the Ways to help me through those situations. She doesn't need to be treated as a magical GPS giving turn-by-turn instructions. Her symbolism encourages awareness of the road beneath our feet and the choices that determine where it leads. There's also the physical landscape to consider. Working with Elen can involve walking an old path, visiting a sacred well, studying the history of a local road, or simply paying attention to how people and animals travel through the land. Which routes feel natural? Where does the ground invite movement? What places cause someone to slow down, stop, or change direction? This kind of practice doesn't require pretending to be an Iron Age priest wandering through Wales in a deer skull. Sometimes spirituality means shutting up, putting the phone away, and noticing where we are, listening. The deer remains a fitting symbol because deer move between the wild landscape and the edges of human settlements. They appear quietly, pause for a moment, and disappear back into the trees. They know routes that most of us can't see. Anyone who has watched deer travel through a wooded area knows they're rarely stumbling around without direction. They follow paths worn into the land through generations of movement. That image fits Elen wonderfully, whether it comes from ancient religion or modern spiritual understanding. The important thing is to separate three different ideas: the legendary Elen of Welsh tradition, the possible older influences attached to her, and the modern pagan goddess known as Elen of the Ways. These figures overlap, but they're not automatically identical. Stuffing them all together and calling the result an unbroken ancient tradition does not honor history. It simply makes a cleaner story for people who do not like, the whole concept of uncertainty. And paganism has enough made up uncertainty already. Eleanor of the Ways does not need a fake prehistoric pedigree to be meaningful. Her strength comes from the fact that she stands where history, folklore, landscape, and modern experience meet. She reminds us that traditions are not always delivered whole from some perfect ancient past. Sometimes they grow through the continued relationship between people, stories, the land, and the land around them. So is Elen an ancient Celtic deer goddess? We honestly can't say that. Is she a modern spiritual figure built around a much older Welsh legend, ancient roads, sacred places, and the timeless symbolism of deer and journeying? Absolutely. I completely adore her, and I'll always use her going forward. And perhaps that is the real lesson found along Elen's road. A path does not become worthless simply because it was created later than someone claimed. What matters is where it came from, how honestly we walk it, and whether we're paying attention to where it's actually taking us. History gives us the road beneath our feet. Myth gives us the landscape surrounding it. Modern practice decides whether we're going to walk the thing or merely stand around arguing over who built it.